Abdul Ghani. Engineer Abdul Ghani. Naman si Engineer Rodo. Nag-dinner pa siguro. Engineer Bulahan.
Present.
Si Engineer Kaina.
Present, Doc. Good evening.
Good evening. Si Engineer April.
Good evening, Doc.
Okay, good evening.
Present.
Engineer Dela. Engineer Dela. Naman si Engineer Dela. Wala pa si Engineer Dela. Engineer Doliente.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Good evening. Engineer Flor de Lisa. Engineer Flor de Lisa. Engineer Lian Magto. Wala pa si Lian. Engineer J. Orabaw.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Engineer Abdul Ghani. Na siya. Engineer Pasilius.
Present, Doc. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Engineer Plaza.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, Doc. Madunggan na.
Yes. Oh, doon ka na.
Sorry, Doc. Nag-share ko gikan. Good evening,
Okay lang.
po.
Engineer Quirino. Wala pa si Engineer Quirino. Engineer Tagupa.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Engineer Nicel.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Engineer Tuting.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Wala pa si Engineer Dela ba? Engineer Dela, Engineer Flor de Lisa.
Good evening, Doc. Dela,
Oh.
Doc, na.
Na. Si Engineer Flor de Lisa, Engineer Magto, Engineer Quirino, wala. Section B. Si Engineer Neo Heidel.
Present,
Bandoles.
sir. Good evening po.
Evening. Engineer Bobadilla.
Present, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay. Engineer Carbonilla.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Yes, good evening. Engineer Dadoli. Engineer Dadoli. Wala pa. Engineer Din Lasa. Dea.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Engineer Espinosa.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Engineer Gonzales.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Good evening. Engineer Humanoy. Engineer Humanoy. Engineer Laila La Cuesta. Engineer La Cuesta. Wala. Engineer Micah.
Good evening, Doc. Present po.
Good evening. Engineer La Roga.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Good evening. Engineer Madelo. Engineer Madelo. Engineer Namokatkat. Engineer Namokatkat. Wala pa. Engineer Suaso.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Engineer Onabia. Engineer James.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Ito si Engineer Dodolina na. Engineer Humanoy.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Engineer La Cuesta. Engineer Namukatkat.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Okay. Si Engineer si Engineer Lian.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Yeah, yes, tanali yan. Engineer Flor de Lisa. Wala pa. Engineer Quirino. Wala pa po. Okay. Aha. We have Teka muna. Teka. 27, 20. Asa na ganit ta karon?
Ako na mo report, Doc. Dahil lang. 25, Doc. Topic.
Naparita diha. Equivalent artist. Naparita diha. Naparita din equivalent static method. Lagi ba pero nakakuha na tanong naka-discuss na ta about aning ko nagi-present na po na yung seismic requirement analysis requirement na rin karon. Sige. Muna din si Engineer Plaza. Okay, si Engineer Dela. The floor is yours.
Okay, Doc. Good evening, everyone. So, I assume audible or ako no if mawala man ganito. If mawala man ganito, feel free to interrupt na lang. So, for my topic, it is service load analysis, more specifically the dynamic analysis. So, ang reference ako ang discussion karon is section 406.6.3.2. Okay. So, before I start, let's have a recall sa atong dynamic analysis. So we have 3 different approaches. We have the modal analysis, the response spectrum analysis, and the time history analysis. So sa modal analysis na approach, dere na atay natural frequency and mode shapes sa atong structures. Sa atong response spectrum analysis, it is linear and elastic. Ang ato ang data nga makuha dere is ang response sa atong structure in terms of their acceleration, velocity, and displacement. And for the time history analysis, it is about the ground motion time history records. Okay. So sa time history analysis, it is about the ground motion time history records. So atong result dire is in terms sa displacement sa ang structure with respect to time. So that's all for our recall. So there is atong section 406.6.3.2. So it is stated sa point 1, we have the immediate and time-dependent deflections due to gravity loads shall be calculated in accordance with section 424.2. And for the next section, it shall be permitted to calculate immediate lateral deflections using a moment of inertia of 1.4 times I, defined in section 406.6.3.1, or using a more detailed analysis, but the value shall not exceed the gross moment of inertia. So sa section 406.6.3.1, floor moment of inertia and cross-sectional area of members shall be calculated in accordance with tables A and B unless a more rigorous analysis is used. If sustained lateral loads are present, your I for columns and walls shall be divided by that quantity, where your beta sub ds is the ratio of your maximum factored sustained shear within a story to the maximum factored shear in that story associated with the same load combination. So ako ipakita ang duha ka tables nung iyahang dimension, si tables A and B. So si table A, you have your moment of inertia and cross-sectional area permitted for elastic analysis at factored load level. Si table B, mas tedious ihang approach kay gina-consider niya si PU and si MU. Okay? So kani factored load analysis naman is dili na ko mo dive deep ani nga topic. So for the next section 406.6.3.1.2, for factored lateral load analysis, it shall be permitted to assume your moment of inertia equal to 50% of your gross moment for all members, or to calculate I by a more detailed analysis considering the reduced stiffness for all members under the loading conditions. For the next section, for factored lateral load analysis of two-way slab systems without beams, which are designated as part of the seismic force resisting system, your moment of inertia for slab members shall be defined by a model that is in substantial agreement with results of comprehensive tests and analysis, and your moment of inertia of other frame members shall be in accordance with section 406.3.1.1 and point 2. So code basis lang yun ang ato ang discussion diri. However, nakoy example sa last part sa atong discussion. So section 424.2, deflections due to service level gravity loads. Section 424.2.1, members subjected to flexure shall be designed with adequate stiffness to limit deflections or deformations that adversely affect strength or serviceability of a structure. And for the next section, deflections calculated in accordance with the two sections through 424.2.5 shall not exceed the limits in table 424.2.2. So narato ang table 424.2.2. So ang yaha is ang maximum permissible calculated deflections. So we have the following members now for flat roofs and floors. So for flat roof with a condition not supporting or attached to non-structural elements likely to be damaged by large deflections. And atong deflection you consider is immediate deflection due to maximum of roof live load, and RCR is your rain live load. Deflection limitation is L over 180, where L is your clear span. And for floors, so the same condition, and imong deflection you consider is immediate deflection due to L. Your limitation is L over 360. For roofs and floors with a different condition, so you have supporting or attached.
Excuse me, Engineer Dela.
Yes,
Ikaw
Doc.
na siya ng live load ng L.
Live load, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Oh, live load. Okay.
Okay. So, continuing, So sa roofs or floors with the condition supporting or attached to non-structural elements, so likely to be damaged by large deflections, your limitation is L over 480. And for not likely to be damaged by large deflections, your limitation is L over 240. Now you have the following footnotes there is sa ubos. First, limit not intended to safeguard against ponding. Ponding shall be checked by calculations of deflection, including added deflections due to ponded water, and considering time-dependent effects of sustained loads, camber, construction tolerances, and reliability of provisions for damage. So kanina, no, kaning naka 1 dire. And for 2, time-dependent deflection shall not be calculated in accordance with section 424.2.4, but shall be permitted to be reduced by amount of deflection calculated to occur before attachment of non-structural elements. For number 3, limit shall be permitted to be exceeded if measures are taken to prevent damage to support or attach elements. And for number 4, limit shall not exceed tolerance provided for non-structural elements. Okay. For section 424.2.3, calculations of immediate deflections. So first, immediate deflections shall be calculated using methods or formulas for elastic deflections, considering effects of cracking and reinforcement on member stiffness, effect on variation of cross-sectional properties such as hunches shall be considered when calculating deflections, and deflection in two-way slab systems shall be calculated taking into account size and shape of the panel, conditions of support, and nature of restraints at the panel edges. And lastly, modulus of elasticity, or your E sub C, shall be permitted to be calculated in accordance with section 419.2.2. So we have these formulas for non-pre-stressed members. The effective moment of inertia, or your I sub E, shall be calculated by this formula unless obtained by a more comprehensive analysis, but your effective shall not be greater than your gross moment of inertia. So dire, your MCR, that is your cracking moment, CMA, that is your maximum moment in member at stage deflection, and kani, this is your gross moment of inertia. Your ICR is your cracking moment of inertia. Your MCR is calculated using this formula, your modulus of rupture times your gross moment of inertia over your Y sub T. So na example ani later. And for pre-stress, class C slabs and beams as defined in section 424.5.2, it shall be permitted to calculate deflections based on the gross moment of inertia. So you have this table. So class U, that means uncracked, no? So your limits of sub T, that should be less than or equal to the 0.62 times the square root of your FC prime. For transition, that is between uncracked and cracked, your F sub T is between your 0.62 times the square root of your FC prime, and that should be less than or equal to the square root of your FC prime. So bale, ang 0.62 times the square root of your FC prime, mo na imohang boundaries. And for crack, you have class C. So your F sub T is greater than the square root of your FC prime. For pre-stress, class T and class C slabs and beams as defined in section 424.5.2, deflection calculations shall be based on crack transform section analysis. It shall be permitted to base deflection calculations on a bilinear moment deflection relationship, or your effective moment of inertia in accordance with equation 424.2.3.5a, where your cracking moment is calculated using this formula. And for the calculation of time-dependent deflections, unless obtained from a more comprehensive analysis, additional time-dependent deflection resulting from creep and shrinkage of flexural members shall be calculated as a product of the immediate deflection caused by the sustained load and this factor, no, that is given by kaning symbol. This is read as C over 1 plus 50 times rho prime, where your rho prime that is equal to the area of steel over your BD. So kana C that is your time dependent factor that is given by this table. So for load for sustained load duration, so for example you have na-sustain imong loads for 3 months, your time dependent factor is 1. Kung 6 months, that is 1.2. Kung 12, that is 1.4. If 60 months or more, your time dependent factor is 2. Now, how about if in between 3 and 6 ang imuhang time duration? So, imuha lang ning i-interpolate, no, kay linear interpolation lang ni siya. So, additional time-dependent deflection or pre-stressed concrete members shall be calculated considering stresses in concrete and reinforcement under sustained load and the effects of creep and shrinkage of concrete and relaxation of pre-stress reinforcement. And then calculation of deflections of composite concrete sections. We have if composite concrete flexural members are shored during construction so that after removal of temporary supports, the dead load is resisted by the full composite section. It shall be permitted to consider the composite member equivalent to a monolithically cast member for calculation of deflections. If composite concrete flexural members are not shored during construction, the magnitude and duration of load before and after composite action becomes effective shall be considered in calculating time-dependent deflections. So I have an example here. A 300 mm by 600 mm is reinforced with 5 16 mm steel bars with steel cover of 60 mm using FC prime equal to 28 megapascal and your FY equal to 414 megapascal. Unit weight of concrete is 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. Letter A, determine the effective moment of inertia of the beam, which carries a concentrated live load of 40 kilonewton at the free end of a 2-meter cantilever span. And letter B, determine the immediate deflection of the beam. So, for the solution, so narato ang situation. So we have a 2-meter cantilever beam. So it carries uniform load, ihang dead load, and then asya concentrated live load ng 40 kilonewton sa ihang end. So, wait lang. Solving for the for your uniform load, no, so you have 24, that is the unit weight of your concrete, times the cross-sectional area of your beam, so that is equal to 4.32. And then gihatagan tag 60 na steel cover, so that is gikan sa to ang utmost fiber padulong sa centroid sa to ang beam. So we have 60 here. So kaning sa ubos, that is 540 na lang. So locating for our crack neutral axis, let's denote that as X. So kaning diri sa taas, that is 540 minus X. Dimensions sa itong beam, that is 300 by 600. So solving for your area of steel, that is equal to 1005.31 mm square. Your modulus of elasticity for concrete, that is equal to 4,700 times the square root of your FC prime, that is equal to 24,870.062 megapascal. And your modular ratio, that is the modulus of elasticity of your steel over your concrete, that is 200,000 over your EC, that is equal to 8. And equating your moment above and below, so sa taas, imong area diha is your NAS, no? Your N is your modular ratio times yung moment arm nga 540 minus X, that is equal to your moment below, that is equal to 300 times X times yung moment arm nga X sub 2. Calculating makuha nimo nga x is equal to 145.45 mm. Now solving for your crack moment of inertia, that is equal to bh cubed over 3, so that is 300 times x cubed over 3 plus ang imuhang area dere is your NAS na, that is equal to 8 times your area of steel times imuhang d square is equal to 540 minus x. And then ang imong makuha nga cracking moment of inertia is equal to 1559.68 times 10 raised to 6. Now for your gross moment of inertia, that is equal to 300 times 600 cubed over 12, and that is equal to 5,400 times 10 raised to 6. Solving for your cracking moment, so this you have this equation. So katunang nasa sa code ganiha, ako lang i-transform na in terms of FR siya. So your FR, that is equal to 0.62 times 1.0 kaning times the square root of your FC prime. Now kaning formula sa imuhang modulus of rupture na nasa code kana si 1.0, that is your modification factor depende sa type of concrete nga mong gigamit. So assuming normal weight of concrete lang, so that your lambda is equal to 1.0. So times your MCR times 10 raised to 6 na to, para to ang resulting answer is in kilonewton meter, times your y sub t, that is 600 over 2, times your gross moment of inertia nga 5,400 times 10 raised to 6. Your cracking moment of inertia then is equal to 59.05 kilonewton meter. Now for your maximum moment, so that is equal to your uniform load, that's 4.32 times 2 times yung moment arm nga 1 plus concentrated load nga 40 times yung moment arm nga 2. So you have a maximum moment of 88.64. Now substituting these values to this formula, no, so that is makuha nimo nga effective moment of inertia is equal to 2,695.05 times 10 raised to 6 mm to the fourth. Now solving for kani mo na ni ang gipangita sa letter A, no, yung gipangita is to determine the effective moment of inertia of the beam. So this is your answer. And for letter B, yung gipangita is your immediate deflection. So for the immediate deflection, you have a cantilever, so naki-deflection due to dead load and naki-deflection due to live load. So solving for your deflection due to dead load, that is given by this formula, no, and for your deflection in terms of live load, that is given by this formula. Now given na tanan, no, you have your W sub D, that is equal to 4.32. Length sa imuhang beam is 2 meters. Your E here is your modulus of elasticity of concrete, that is 24,870, and your cracking moment of inertia katong nakuha na to ganiha nga 2,695. So substitute lang na dihatanan, and your total immediate deflection is equal to 1.72 mm. Kana. So that ends my discussion on the service load analysis. So, thank you for listening.
So, any questions with regards to the report of Engineer Dela? I guess, murag sa'yo naman to siya, ano? Actually, yung gamit ato is kanang method is kuna siya. Investigation method by transform section method. Nahulog na siyang investigation kay kuan man na naman existing daan ng design sa beam. So kuan na siya, transform section method using the crack beam analysis. Any question? Wala? Then we can proceed to the next reporter. Thank you, Engineer Dela. Next, si Engineer Abdul Ghani.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Dela. Si Engineer Abdul Ghani, ready na?
Good evening po, Doc. Madunggan ra ba?
Yes.
Okay. Visible akong screen? Okay, good evening once again. Good evening, Doc. Good evening, classmates. So,
Good evening.
so discuss na to karon ang another type of the dynamic analysis, which is the response spectrum analysis. So kani nga topic broad gyud kay ni siya kung kuhaon gyud isa-isa. Pero let us base on the NSAP code 2015, specifically the section 208.5.3.4.1 and the section 208.5.3.5 where i-discuss niya kung unsa ba gyud si response spectrum analysis. By the way, I am Mudasire Abdul Ghani from section 1A. So based sa code, what is response spectrum analysis? So nana sa section 208.5.3.4, i-discuss niya description of analysis procedure, an elastic dynamic analysis. So elastic day siya. So meaning, ang response spectrum analysis, we assume na itong structure is behave siya fully elastic of a structure. So i-discuss na ito ni Unya, nganong elastic ni siya. Of a structure utilizing the peak dynamic response of all modes having a significant contribution to total structural response. Peak modal responses are calculated using the ordinates. So naaday ordinates na gamito nani para makompute na to ang response spectrum analysis of the appropriate response spectrum curve which correspond to the modal periods. So naatay basis nga curve which is makita na to niya under UBC 1997. The maximum modal contributions are combined in a statistical manner to obtain an approximate total structural response. So mao na ang response spectrum analysis. So based sa code, for the representation and interpretation of results, the ground motion representation shall be in accordance with section 208.5.3.2. Unsa na siya? So naatay ground motion. Kaning si ground motion under section 208.5.3.2. Okay, let's take note. Kinaani siya tulo ka buok. Take note nato ning tulo. The ground motion representation shall as a minimum be one having a 10% probability of being exceeded in 50 years. So naa siya gi-mention na 10% probability. So meaning 10% probability of exceedance in 50 years. So kung gamitan na to Poisson's probability, kung i-interpret na to, possible na 475 years return period earthquake. So this is a standard design level commonly interpreted as 475-year return period earthquake. Shall not be reduced by the quantity R and may be one of the following. So kaning si R is response modification factor. Nara na dito makitaan sa section na adere. Pangitaw na ba? Section kani si R. Different value of the structure na po siya corresponding values. Nasa table 208/11 and -12 nasa dira. So number 1, an elastic design response spectrum constructed in accordance with figure 208-3 kani nga figure. So kani nga figure is mo itong gamiton aniya. Using the values of CA and CV consistent with the specific site, the design acceleration ordinates shall be multiplied by the acceleration of the gravity 9.815 meter per second square. So atong makuha din nga value diri is naka in terms of gravity man. So we will multiply it to the 9.815 meter per second square to convert it into spectral acceleration. Okay. So ano yung si number 1? It refers to a spectrum built using coefficient nga CA and C sub A and C sub B. Unsa ni sila? So mga acceleration at short period at longer periods ni siya. Naran diri makita na to na. Magamit na to na unya. So these values depends on the seismic zone, soil condition, and site classification. So number 2, ground motion. A site-specific elastic design response spectrum based on the geologic, tectonic, seismologic, and soil characteristics associated with a specific site. The spectrum shall be developed for a damping ratio of 0.05 unless a different value is shown to be consistent with the anticipated structural behavior at the intensity of shaking established for the site. So number 2, instead of using generalized code values, the spectrum is developed using local geology like the rock, soil layers, and so on. The tectonic, seismology, and soil characteristics. And number 3, ground motion time histories developed for a specific site shall be representative of actual earthquake motions. The Spanish spectra form time histories either individually or in combination shall approximate the site design spectrum conforming to section 208.5.3.2 item 2. So kana silang tulo si ground motion take note ana kay makita nato nag-value unya na ay reduction na mahitabo under this ground motion. So the corresponding response parameter include forces, moments, and displacements shall be denoted as elastic response parameters. Elastic response parameters may be reduced in accordance with section 208.5.3.5.4. So naanay reduction kani sa 208.5.3 ato na makita mo niya. So the best shear for a given direction determined using dynamic analysis must not be less than the value obtained by the equivalent lateral force method of the section 208.5.2. If you can still remember, kaning section is mo ni atuang magamit in solving the best shear for the static force procedure. Mo ni ang gidiscuss ni Engineer Plaza last meeting. So dapat atong best shear daw dynamics analysis must not be less than sa atong value na makuha diri. Okay, makita na nato na. So number of modes, the requirement of section 208.5.3.4.1 that all significant modes be included may be satisfied by demonstrating that for the modes considered, at least 90% of the participating mass of the structure is included in the calculation of response for each principal horizontal direction. Combining modes, the peak member forces, displacements, historic forces, historic shears, and base reactions for each mode shall be combined by recognized methods. When three-dimensional models are used for analysis, modal interaction effects shall be considered when combining modal maxima. So mo ni atong gi-mention ganiha nga section sa reduction of elastic response parameter. So elastic response parameter may be reduced for the purpose for purposes of design in accordance with the following items, with the limitation that in no case shall the elastic response parameter be reduced such that the corresponding design-based shear is less than the elastic response-based shear divided by the value of the R. So kung nakita ninyo ato ang mga values sa static, katong ganiha, na ay denominator na R. So na ay reduction of the value by dividing the value of the R. So ano mo divide man tag R? In reality, structures are expected to yield and dissipate energy through plastic deformation. If you can still remember sa tuwang steel design sa undergrad, dili lang taman sa yield strength sa tuwang steel. Taman ta sa plastic hinge, maka-create pa sa plastic hinge sa plastic design. So, full value of the R in static procedure reflects this ductility and energy dissipation capacity. However, since response spectrum analysis assumes the structure remains elastic, it cannot directly simulate yielding, cracking, or plastic hinge formation. To compensate for this limitation and avoid unconservative, unsafe results, the code reduce the benefits of R. So muna, naanatay reduction. So sa reduction na to, naanatay basis diri. For the number 1, for all irregular structure, where the ground motion representation complies with section 208.5.3, kung ganiha, kaninga section, item 1, katong sa ground motion, item 1, kani, kung diri daw siya nabilong, elastic response parameter may be reduced such that the corresponding design-based shear is not less than 90% of the base shear determined in accordance with section 208.5.2. So dapat daw ang dynamic base shear is dili daw siya munaog sa atuang base shear sa static na 90% sa 90% of the static base shear. Pero dapat kani nga diri ta nabilong sa ground motion sa number 1. So kana atong bases. So, nganong munaog ta? For example kani sa atong paint. Sa kani, sa atuang design response spectra, di ba, na-mention man to sa first slide na to, nga yung response spectrum analysis is gina-assume niya na tuang structure will behave elastic. So kani meaning elastic ni siya. So elastic spectrum analysis niya, elastic. So naatay reduction of the R. So kung mo reduce siya R, itong divide tag R, munaog ni siya. So dira, panaog. Munaog atong result. So kung munaog, diri itong reduction sa R na ito ang makita. So diri, reduce siya R para elastic na, ay inelastic. So kani, in this case, inelastic na ni. So mag-reduce ta, which is dapat dili lang pud siya munaog sa atuang 90%. Pero nahibawan ra man nato ni sa tuang structural dynamics na 90%. Pero dili lang di ay 90%. Napaday another consideration. Unsa to sila? Kaning sa number 2. For all regular structures where the ground motion representation complies with section 208.5.3.2, item 2. Katong sa ground motion na to, kung under sa item 2, elastic response parameters may be reduced such that the corresponding design-based shear is not less than 80% of the base shear determined sa tuwang static. Meaning, if the ground motion na to is under siya sa item 2, dapat di daw siya munaog og 80% sa atuang static. Atuang design based shear sa dynamic dili munaog og 80%. So atong nahibaw-an 90 man, di ba? Sa atuang structural dynamics. So napaday 80%. Okay. So and the next one, for all irregular structures, regardless of the ground motion representation, elastic response parameter may be reduced such that the corresponding design-based shear is not less than 100%. So kung under item 3 na po siya, so dapat dili daw siya, o irregular, dili siya munaog og 100% sa tuwang static. So unsay mahitabo kung mas munaog man ni atuang di dynamic base shear. So dira sulod tong scale up. As long as dili lang yun ta munaog aning mga parameters dimensions atuang code. So in earthquake analysis, we first compute elastic response parameters. Forces assume the structure behave perfectly elastic. However, sa atong giingon na ganiha, real structures are allowed to yield and dissipate energy. So we can reduce this force for the design. But there is this strict limit atong kani sa 1, 2, and 3. So gina-consider natin na. So directional effect. Directional effects for horizontal ground motion shall conform to the requirement section 08.6. The effects of vertical ground motion and horizontal cantilevers and pre-stress elements shall be considered in accordance with section 208.6. Ano siya? Dili na nato ni i-discuss kan mention naman nila. Alternately, vertical seismic response may be determined by dynamic response method. In no case shall the response used for design be less than that obtained by the static method. For the torsion, the analysis shall account for torsional effects, including accidental torsional effects as prescribed in section 208.5.1.4, ano siya, where three-dimensional models are used for analysis. Effects of accidental torsion shall be accounted for by appropriate adjustments in the model, such as adjustment of mass locations, or by equivalent static procedures such as provided in section 208.5.1.3. For the dual systems, where the lateral forces are resisted by a dual system as defined in section 208.4.6.4, the combined system shall be capable of resisting the base shear determined in accordance with this section. The moment resisting frame shall conform to section 208.4.6.4, kani, item 2, and may be analyzed using either the procedure of the section 208.5.2.3 or those section 208.5.3.5. So, sabto na to kung unsa gyud ang response spectrum analysis after learning the codes under sa atuang RSA. Okay. Before na to na siya masabkan, allow me to give you this illustration. Okay. If na daw tayo structure, kani, tapos, gi-apply na to siya load horizontally, then, gikuha na to ang load to allow the structure to vibrate freely. Ang isa ka rotation daw niya, kana, mo na ginatawag na natural time period. Okay, anong sabton man nato ning natural time period? Sabton sa nato ni, kay para magamit man gud unya na may time period unya na magamit para masabdan nato kinsa si time period. So natural time period kanang one cycle rotation lamang kana kanang makita ninyo nga ni rotate diri kana one cycle. So time needed to finish one complete cycle of vibration. So specifically nakadepend ni sa value of the mass of the structure and the stiffness of the structure denoted as K. Okay. So natay duha ka structure dire. Sa left side is mura na siya massless lang, gamay lang. Okay. Whereas the right side na siya gina-carry nga daghan nga weights. So based dira, pwede ta makakonclude since na-mention man diri ang natural time period nakadepende sa mass of the structure, pwede ta makaingon na na-adyoy difference nilang duha. Kaya mas bugat man kini dili. Kato makita kung high mass di ay high pod ang time period. Nga naman, dugay man mahuman ang rotation, dugay mahuman ang isa ka cycle. Whereas sa low mass, kaning gamay ra ang gi-carry sa tuwang structure, pas ra ang isa ka rotation. So dako pod ay is gamay pod ang iyahang time period. So pwede ta makakonclude if the mass is greater, mas dako, high, dako po datuang time period. Next. Sa tuwang stiffness na po, makita na to dere the difference sa duha. Ang isa kay stiff kayo, ang isa dili, low stiff. On the other hand, kung atuang stiffness is gamay, dako atuang time period, natural time period. Nga naman, flexible man ito ang structure. So kung flexible siya, dugay mahuman ang iyahang time period. Whereas, kung stiff kayo siya, dako, high ang stiffness, gamay ra pod ang time period na iyahang mahuman. So pwede ta makakonclude, if K or the stiffness of the structure is dako, mo increase, mo decrease ang iyahang time period. Okay? Nasabtan na to, natural period, time period. So, dirita, sa itong structure. Why are structure affected by earthquakes? If we have a very light building, pariyani with negligible mass, then applyan nato siya earthquake motion at the base, the building as whole will move back and forth. Kana, nag-move siya back and forth following the exact motion of the earthquake. But no force will be generated in the building. In other words, the building will not be affected structurally by the earthquake as long as its mass is very small. Kung gamay ra gyud kayo ang iyahang mass, pwede ta makaingon nga murag wala ra kay effect. Ano natin makita diri ang iyahang seismic acceleration katong nag-move siya. Pwede ta makaingon kung mas less ang isa ka structure or dili ka siya bugat, like mga kubo lang, murag wala kay siya ma-feel or wala kay effect ang earthquake sa iya. Kay murag mukuyog man, based taman sa taas, murag walay story drift na mahitabo. Okay. So light frame, negligible mass is equals to not affected by earthquake. Katagdag sa example. Now let's add considerable at the top of the building and see what's going to happen. When we subject the building to an earthquake motion at the base, the building will not move as one unit as before. So di siya pareha itong ganiha. There will be a difference in motion between the top of the building, sa top, na different sa motion niya, and its base, sa iyahang base. Same scenario ni siya sa tao nga nisakay o usa ka sakyanan. Kung sakay kag isa ka sakyanan, example L. Then kalitra og larga. Dayon, ang tao nga na didto, murag ma-delay ang nasa top nimo, ang imong ulo o ang movement sa imong tiil is murag delay ang imong tiil sa effect sa ang imong ulo, delay imong ulo sa effect na iyahang ma-feel kumpara sa imong tiil. So the difference in motion between the base and the top is called the relative displacement. And it is this relative displacement that causes forces to be generated in the building. In summary, the effect of the earthquake on the structure is mainly dependent on the relative displacement U. Therefore, the response of the structure to an earthquake is measured by the relative displacement. Amo na ni, frame with mass, relative displacement, then naapod siya shear force. In structural design, we are mainly interested in the maximum value of the force that occurs in the building. So, the maximum response is mainly dependent on the natural time period. Katong gingon na o ganiha. So, maong natin makita diri nga time period, then maximum acceleration. So, the maximum acceleration that occurs in the structure, so consider a building with mass M. The height of the building is adjusted to produce a natural time period of 0.2 seconds. Now we will subject this building to a specific earthquake, E sub 1. Then we will solve this structure to obtain the maximum acceleration that will occur due to this earthquake. So makita na to, makuha na to yung maximum magnitude sa iyahang response. So as the height changes, mag-change po ang iyahang maximum acceleration response. So naana dire. O makita ninyo, nga the more musaka, mutaas siya, the more ang time period po magkadugay. Okay, so kana, makita na to. So, unya, mga tagtag example ani, para mas ma-deepen na to ang understanding. Okay. So, naka-create ta based sa results, makakuha tag maximum acceleration with respect to time period. So, itong natural time period na ito ang solving na. As stated earlier, the response spectrum curve constructed is specific to the earthquake motion, E sub 1. If another earthquake E sub 2, another earthquake na is applied, then different response spectrum curve will be obtained. In order to use the response spectrum curve in the design at a certain location, we must draw the response spectrum curve for all the earthquakes. So, daghan na ning earthquake. Earthquake 1, 2, 3, taman 4, or so on, that are expected to happen in that location. And then we can draw the response spectrum that can be used in the design. We call this curve. So after that, makakreate na aning curve na nai-plato. Ano siya plato? Just like what Sir Baguhin said sa tuwang structural dynamics na naa siya plato kay because of the uncertainties na kay kanimang good UBC 1997 is dili ni siya na-create or wala ni siya nag-originate sa Philippines. O mga area ana is dili ang Philippines ang basis. So mao na siya plato. Okay. The design acceleration ordinates shall be multiplied by the acceleration of the gravity 9.8815 meter per second square. So ito makuha dire is mo ito itong i-apply. So gamitan na ito ni sa itong example. We will use this curve. Sa tuwang example. Kani. So muna niya itong gamit. Muna niya itong gamiton sa next na itong example. Sa itong example. So kaning design responses spectra will serve as the basis on how to calculate the ordinance or the response spectrum acceleration kani spectral acceleration para makuha nato si code si NSCP 2015 nag-provide ani to simplify our calculation para mas masayon. Apply na to. Example. Plot the response spectral curve of the given data. So, i-plot down na to. So, natin given values, si zone 4, seismic source type A. Kaya kung makita man gud ninyo dire, na sila corresponding value ni CA, CB, C, and the time period. And all of those values is dependent sa atuang geologic condition, sa zone type, sa seismic source type. So nakadepende ana sa itong i-discuss last ni Engineer Plaza dito na nga topic. So natin data diri si zone 4 seismic source type A, closest distance to non-seismic source 10 km. So soil profile type is SD, steep soil profile. So based on the corresponding tables of the NSCP, we obtain the following parameters. Zone 4 man, so na-mention man sa table 208-3, kung zone 4 daw, the value of the Z is 0.4. Maong 0.4 itong gamit direct. And the next, namatay seismic source type A. So nanay seismic source type A. So lantaw na itong value na N sub B, near source factor N sub B o si N sub A. So kung seismic source type A, kaniya itong basihan na row. Okay, tapos lantaw na ito iyahang distance to non-seismic source. Okay, lantaw na ito iyang distance. 10 km. So mabasa ito sa 10 km. So iyahang value, parang the column 1 ay 10 km and row A, 1.2. So that is why 1.2 atong NB. Sa NA na to, same case. Seismic source type A and 10 km. So 1 iyahang value. Okay. So let us calculate the CA. So ano pag-calculate sa CA? The CA naapod na siya sa table 208-7. Si CA, since ato ang soil profile type is S sub D, ato lang tawon, ilayahang value. Under zone 4 man ta. So zone 4, so Z na to is 0.4, so direct na mo base. So si SD, 0.44 of the N sub A. So meaning, makuha na to si C sub A as the formula 0.44 NA. Sa C sub B na pod, SD, yung 0.64 of the NB. Okay. So with that, let us calculate the following parameters. So CA, makuha na to. Calculating, plug in ra na to ang value ni NA 1, makuha na to 0.44. CB is 0.64 NB. Then plug in na to si 1.23 times 0.64, we will get 0.768. So para makuha na to ni si 2.5 of DCA. Asa nagikan? Yan yung 2.5 of DCA. Dito na sa atuang response spectra nga curve na dito. 2.5 DCA. So calculate na nato daan para simple calculation na lang niya. Pag-plot na lang ta. So we have 1.21. For the value of T sub S, which is calculated as CV over 2.5 of DCA. Asa nga formula gikan? Napod na dito. makita ninyo dito sa figure to get the T sub S. Then we have 0.698 and T sub 0 or O 0.1396. Okay. Since kanima na itong nakuha ng value, so we will use this figure or this diagram para ma-plot na to. May analyze na to ni ato ang example. So with that, ato ang na-solve, C sub A man eh. Okay, sa ato ang C sub A, 0.44. So atong value is 0.44 G, gravity. So anong naka in terms of gravity man eh? Kaya multiply pa man nato na into gravitational force katong 9.815 meter per second square to convert it into acceleration. So we have this one. Tapos, yung corresponding time, 0. Next, we have if dt over t sub s is 0.2. Ano si 0.2? So yung value na tumakuha is 2.5 of the CA, which is equivalent to 1.10 G. Okay, kani. So when our T sub over T sub S is 1, kaning 1 na po na itong gamit, then we can get the time as 0.698 seconds. So natay time dira na 0.698 seconds. So yung value, dili na kani atong gamiton nga formula. Dili na. Okay, kani. Ay kani gyapon di kay straight man eh. Sorry. Straight pa. So kani pa nga formula unta ato magamit or either kani kay parehar man nag-value. Kay kung i-substitute nimo ni kani T over sub CV i-transpose na to ni CV over T, then kani ma-transpose ito 2.5 over the CA gihapon itong formula magamit. So ang value day ani is 2.5 of the CA gihapon. So we have 1.1 G. So 1.1 G na ang value. Next, if our T over T sub S is equal to 2, kaning 2 na, so na tayo makuha ng natural time period, T period. Then, makuha na to ang kaning line or kaning curve, ang iyahang formula itong gamiton is CV over T para makuha yung value. So 0.55 of G. So with that, makuha na to 0.55 of G. So when our T over Ts is 3, we have these values. And so on. So since nakuha nakita sa response spectrum analysis, sa design response spectra, all those ordinates are dependent on the value of our zone type, DNA. So pwede na ito nibuhatan o Excel. Para rami. So gisalayan ako nagbuhat og Excel type para to simplify the calculation. So kani. So since ato ang value is nakadepende sa soil type, kana dependent ra sa soil type. So pwede na ito na i-apply. So katong ganiha, sulay na to butang ang mga values na adere. So zone 4 man, so zone 4 ang gamit. Tapos ang soil type is SD. Ito SD. And ang iyahang kilometer, closest distance is 10. And ang iyahang seismic source type is A. Release na ito ng A. So ang value ni NA is ato ang makuha 1, NB is 1.2, and for the CA 0.44 of the NA, which is ang NA is 1 lang, so 0.44 na ang value ng NA. And for the CB 0.768, and for the TS and the T sub 0. So kung lantaw na ito yung graph, pareha gyud sa ato ang resolve ganito. Okay, nara ilahang yung corresponding values. So pwede na ito ni gamiton in solving ang irang ordinates. And with that, after studying my report, I made this conclusion. Response spectrum analysis is an essential method to evaluate how buildings respond to earthquake forces. It considers the dynamic properties of the structure, such as the natural period, mode shape, damping. Wala na ito na-discuss, kaya ando naman yung sa atuang structural dynamics, kabalo naman. The damping and the modal participation to determine lateral displacements, storage rates, and internal forces. By combining the effects of different vibration modes, response the spectrum analysis provides a more reliable seismic response compared to static analysis. Realization. Through studying RSA, I realized that the importance of understanding how a structure behaves dynamically during seismic events. It shows that building safety does not only depend on strength, but also on stiffness, mass distribution, and vibration characteristics. This analysis deepened my appreciation for the role of engineering principles in designing earthquake-resistant structures that protect lives and property. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pakpak si Engineer J, Engineer Kono, Udasaro. Congratulations for a very detailed report. Although some of which ato nang discuss, no? And then nabalik-balik na nga ba, no? Gani nag-ingon si Engineer Micah nga na-discuss pod kuno dahil kuno na sa kang Dr. Baguhin sa structural dynamics, no? Pero amo gina siya, no? And I hope na kanang dinhi pa lang inyo na nang na-master kay nabalik-balik na baya. And then most na sagid atong gamiton pirmigid, no? Thank you very much again, Engineer Abdul Ghani.
Thank you.
Next reporter is
Ako, Doc.
si Engineer
Good
Rinalo.
evening. So good evening, everyone. So let me share my screen set po. Visible na po.
Yes.
81. Okay po. Okay, so good evening, everyone, once again. So I will be discussing the time history analysis following the NSCP 2015 seismic provisions, section 208.5.3.4.2 and 208.5.3.6. So, but before we begin in our proper discussion, so let us have first a brief discussion of what dynamic analysis is all about. So dynamic analysis, so by definition, it is required for structures where simplified or static methods are insufficient. So this includes tall buildings, irregular structures, and those structures located in soft or complex soil conditions. So unlike static analysis, so which only assumes that forces are constant, on the other hand, dynamic analysis considers how forces change with time. So it is very important because, as we all know, earthquakes are known to be a time-dependent phenomena. So, and structures respond differently at different moments during shaking. So that is why, by using different approach of seismic analysis, such as the response spectrum, which was discussed earlier, and the time history, these different approaches enables us to design seismic resistant structures to safeguard against major structural damage that may lead to loss of life and property. So it is also established that these provisions, they prioritize life safety. So they are not intended to guarantee zero damage or maintain the full functionality of a structure following a severe earthquake. So in other words, it only aims to ensure that structures possess sufficient strength, ductility, and energy dissipation capacity to prevent collapse. So thereby, safeguarding occupants while also accepting that structural and non-structural damage may occur. So time history analysis. So as per section 208.5.3.4.2, it is formally defined that time history analysis is a dynamic response of a structure at each increment of time, and the base is subjected to a specific ground motion time history. So it considers time varying forces. So unlike static methods, earthquake forces change continuously, and this method captures those variations. It also uses real or simulated earthquakes records. So these records, they represent actual ground shaking, making the analysis more realistic. It also simulates how a structure behaves during an actual earthquake event. So aside from this two, we also have to compute structural response at every time steps. So this means that instead of only determining the maximum values, the analysis tracks the displacement, velocity, acceleration, and internal forces. So wherein the displacement is all about the deformation of the structure, the velocity, which is the rate of change of displacement or how fast the structure is moving in any instant. So also acceleration, which is the rate of change of velocity, and internal forces, which are the forces developed inside the structural elements due to earthquake motion. So at every moment during the earthquake, because of this, it can capture peak response, sequence of structural behavior, and possible nonlinear effects. So to better understand and what's the connection of the structural response over time, so we have here a sample figure. So this figure illustrates how time history analysis evaluates the structural response during an earthquake by tracking behavior every time step. So as you can see on the left side, so we see the ground motion of earthquake excitation. So it represented as an acceleration time record. So this is the input applied at the base of the structure, causing the building to shake. So as the ground shakes or moves, so the structure responds dynamically, and we monitor a specific point. This one here, the red dot. And for example, so let us say our time is at 4.20 seconds. So the response of the structure is evaluated simultaneously. So gadungan siya in terms of displacement, velocity, acceleration, and internal force. So the first graph, this one here, so the first graph shows displacement, so which represents how far the structure moves from its original position. So this is also indicating that there are deformation and is important for checking drift limits. So the second graph is the velocity time. So this velocity show how fast the structure is moving. So this helps us understand the dynamic motion and energy dissipation during the earthquake. So the third one, the third graph, so this shows the acceleration, so which is directly related to the forces acting on the structure based on the Newton's law. And the last one, we have the fourth graph that represents the internal forces. So internal forces such as the bending moment or the shear. So how are they connected? So these responses, kining upan, so they are connected due to the fact that acceleration causes inertial forces, so which generate also internal forces. So at the same time, kining inertial forces and internal forces, they produce motion in terms of velocity and displacement. So therefore, the bottom line is that the time history analysis provides a complete picture of structural behavior and not only peak values. So a key requirement of this method is the use of ground motion records, which represent earthquake shaking. So these records must represent the design basis earthquake and should be based on real or simulated earthquake data. And also, the record should also reflect actual site conditions. So as per section 208.5.3.6, so which is discussing the time history analysis. So ako na siyang isa-isa kaya para masabtan og ayo. So as per the section said, so the time history analysis shall be performed with pairs of appropriate horizontal ground motion. So which means using two components of motion at the same time. So we have both x and y directions. So as we all know, ang kanang seismogram, so aside from moving horizontally, so mag-move po siya vertically. So these motions getting x and y direction, so these are called as pairs. So it is because, as we notice sa atong earthquake or during an earthquake, dili siya mag-shake in one direction. No? So they act simultaneously in multiple directions. So analyzing only one direction would be unrealistic. So the second one is time history should be selected and scaled from not less than 3 recorded events. So the NECP requires at least 3 pairs of ground motion records. So the next one is recorded events must be chosen based on their consistency with the design basis earthquake or maximum capable earthquake. So consistency is measured by magnitudes, fault distances, and source mechanism. So there are several factors to consider due to the reason that a near fault earthquake behaves very differently if nasa sa layo. So next, if recorded events are not available, simulated records may be used. So if 3 appropriate records pairs cannot be identified, the specialist may utilize simulated ground motion time history pairs to complete the set. So the next one is the motion shall be scaled such that the average value of the SRSS, or what we call as the square root of the sum of the squares, spectra of all sets does not below 1.4 times the 5% damp spectrum of design basis earthquake. So this threshold must be maintained over the period range of 0.2 T to 1.5 T seconds. So where T, ang statement here is the fundamental period of the structure. So the scaling being mentioned here, like you mentioned here, should be scaled. So it is required since there are earthquake na hilay siya or dili siya representative, di siya ideal to study. So, aside from that, the 1.4 factor, ga-ensure siya na conservative safe design ang analysis, and should there be no underestimation of seismic demand. The next one is the combination of results. So if there are 3 time history analysis, you're going to use the worst case or the maximum result. So due to the fact that small sample size has lesser statistical confidence, so you have to choose the most critical response. So aside from 3 analyses, if there are 7 or more time history analysis, you have to use average response. So since larger data set is more reliable, average gives balanced representation and less overly conservative design. So under this section, next is the 208.5.3.6.2, which is all about the elastic time history analysis. So kini na mga codes na gipang mention dere, mostly ani kay gi-discuss na siya sa previous reporter. We-discuss siya ni Engineer Abdul Ghani about the response spectrum. So basically, they talk siya about general dynamic criteria, which is 208.5.3.1, 208.5.3.2, 208.5.3.3. So aside from the general dynamic criteria, it also stated a code about number of modes, reduction of elastic response parameters, directional effects, torsion, dual systems, and vertical components. So ito lang siyang i-discuss ang kining first nagipang mention since the rest ani kay ga-focus siya sa discuss ni Engineer Abdul Ghani. So in section 208.5.3.1, so basically kanina code gayon structural dynamic analysis should follow principles of structural dynamics. So this means that equations of motion such as mass, damping, and stiffness must be satisfied. So in connection with the time history analysis, ground motion must be properly defined. So you cannot just apply og mga fake the forces. They must represent real earthquakes. This next one is the ground motion. So I believe the discussed na siya kanina thoroughly ni Engineer Abdul Ghani gihapon. And this figure here especially kay sa spectrum ni siya na topic analysis. So in connection with my report lang, so if in connection with time histories must match the site conditions. Gi-mention na siya ganiha. Nag-include siya soil type, fault distance, and seismic source. So the earthquake input must still be realistic for your specific location. For the next one is the mathematical model. So it basically talks about having a model or mathematical model that represent mass and stiffness distribution. So so it also state that a 3D model is also being mentioned and is required for irregular structures, especially katong structure na naanay mga torsion or irregular. The next one is the number of modes. Gi-discuss na po di siya ganiha. Katong mga reduction factor, katong 90% or scale up pa nimo. So let us just proceed as per code sa nonlinear time history analysis. So nonlinear time history analysis are as per section 208.5.3.6.3.1. So this analysis occurs when a structure experiences stresses beyond its elastic limit. So this can cause yielding, cracking, and stiffness degradation. So time history analysis can be able to capture this behavior, allowing more realistic prediction. So as per the code, nonlinear time history analysis shall meet the requirements of section 208.4.8.4, so which is all about the alternative procedures. So this means, ako lang i-summarize ang nadiri. So this means that engineers are not strictly limited to the standard methods in the code, such as O'Fallon-Chaves spectrum, equivalent static, or time history. So the code allows flexibility, so especially for complex or innovative structures where standard methods may not be sufficient. Aside na, mention ng code, time histories shall be developed and results determined in accordance with the requirements of section 208.5.3.6.1, which is all about the story drift limitation. So isa-isawa na ito na yung naadari na code. So but first, let us first discuss the story drift. So story drift is the horizontal displacement between two consecutive floors. So it measures how much one floor moves relative to the floor below during an earthquake. It represents structural deformation during seismic loading. In other words, if the building sways, each floor shifts sideways. So drift tells you how large that movement is. So drift also is a key indicator of how much the structure bends or sways. So next, let us proceed with the code sa calculation ng sa basis of drift calculation. So drift is computed using maximum inelastic response displacement. So ang kining delta sub m, so this represents the actual expected displacement during a strong earthquake. So not just elastic or ideal behavior, inelastic ang dimension. So meaning, ang structure daw is allowed to yield or crack. Next is the drift limits being mentioned. So as per the section 208.6.5.1, there are two cases. So in which case number 1 talks about if ang structure daw, iyang time period is less than 0.7 seconds. Ang case number 2, if ang structure daw kay na siya time period greater than or equal to the 0.7 seconds. So, in case number 1, ang drift limit na to is if less than 0.7 seconds siya, so we're just going to multiply the story height with its multiplier, which is the 0.025. So let us say, for example, atong story height is 3 meters. So atong allowable drift would be the product of 3 meters and the multiplier of 0.025. So the allowable drift would be 0.075 meters, or i-convert it to millimeters, we have 75 millimeters. So for case 2, katong greater than 0.7 seconds, so instead na 0.025 ang i-multiply, so we're just going to multiply the story height to 0.020. So as you noticed, they have different multipliers since ang short period structures, which is kining case 1, so usually mga low-rise buildings pa ni siya. So they are stiffer and they can tolerate slightly larger drift ratios without instability. So on the other hand, kining case number 2, so which is all about the long period structures, usually kanong mga tag-as na mga buildings, so they are more flexible. So they are more sensitive to large displacement. So stricter limits are imposed. The fourth one is the reason why drift limits are important. So anong importance siya? So it is being discussed here that drift limits prevent structural damage, protects non-structural components, and ensures life safety. So this prevents structural damage because excessive deformation can lead to cracking or failure. This also protects non-structural components such as walls, glass, or partitions. It ensures life safety since large drift can cause falling hazards even if the structure remains standing. So all in all, drift control is about serviceability and safety. So it is not all about just collapse prevention. So next one is the exception. So if natay drift limits, naputay exceptions. So there are two exceptions. So the first exception would be ang drift daw may exceed limits if justified. So may reason, it is only allowed if it is proven safe for both structural and non-structural elements. So if ang engineer demonstrates that the structure can handle larger deformation, so then higher drift is acceptable. For exception 2, so no drift limit for certain single-story steel structures. So this applies to several types of structures. So we have the storage buildings, factories, and workshops. So since this type of structures, so they usually have fewer occupants and are less sensitive to damage. But wala siya limit for na siya conditions to follow. So conditions daw is that there should be no sensitive equipment attached or the equipment must accommodate movement. So aside from all that, dapat tayong exception. Ang walls daw must still be designed for drift, section 208.7.2.3. So for the last one, under adding the code, which is the story drift limitation, the national limitations gihapon sa ato ang mga exception sa formula to be used sa base shear. So drift calculation may ignore minimum base shear limits. So like ato ang equation 208-10 and 208-11. So wala siya base shear limits because if mag-compute ang drift, you can use the actual dynamic response. So you do not need to enforce minimum base shear since drift analysis focuses on accuracy, not just conservative assumptions. So next is the connection of story drift to time history analysis. So since time history directly computes displacement, so since increment of time man siya per time ga-calculate kung sa iyahang mga value, diretso lang na to makuha ang drift kay ang drift gani ma-calculate siya from result kay pangitaon ra ang maximum value. So for the nonlinear behavior effects drift significantly, so it is because yielding increases displacement. So if we're going to compare the two analyses, which are the linear and nonlinear, so basically linear analysis tells you how strong the structure should be, and on the other hand, ang nonlinear analysis tells you how the structure will actually behave and fail. Dapat kita isa ka code about the design review for nonlinear time history analysis. So when nonlinear time history analysis is used, the code requires an independent review by qualified engineers to verify that the earthquake inputs, structural design, and analysis results are correct and reliable as per section 208.5.3.6.3.2. So isa-isa naghihapon na to. So this code suggests that there should be a general requirement. So an independent design review is required when nonlinear time history analysis is used. So it is required since ang nonlinear time history kay complex, lisod-lisod yun siya, they are sensitive to assumptions and capable of producing misleading results if done incorrectly. So the review must be performed by an independent engineering team. So ang reviewers ana kay ang mag-review kay dili siya dapat appeal sa team due to the fact na dili pwede na ay bias or mag-oversight sa ato ang mga analysis. The third one is the reviewers must be licensed and experienced in seismic analysis. So only qualified professionals can evaluate such advanced analysis. For the scope of the review, so we have three. The first one is the review of site-specific spectra and ground motions, so which check how earthquake inputs were developed. So the second one is the review of preliminary structural design, so which checks initial design of the lateral force resisting system. The third one is the review of final design and supporting analysis. So this checks the final design and all the calculations. So the next one is the documentation requirement. So as for this requirement, a formal statement must be submitted by the review team, and the statement must be included with plans and calculations. So the reviewers must certify that they performed the required review, the design complies with code. So without this certification, ang design may not be accepted. For the fourth one, the reason why this requirement exists. So anong the requirement gihapon ni siya na requirement? Yes, a design review. So due to the reason na if mag-analyze tag nonlinear time history, sensitive siya when it comes to errors, especially sa ground motion, sa modeling, and assumptions. So, it also allows flexibility but ensures safety. So which means, allow siya na tayo innovation, pero lagi i-verify pa siya sa more professional sa seismic analysis. So, in conclusion, time history analysis represents the most advanced approach in seismic design. So this allows engineers to capture the true behavior of structures under real earthquake conditions. So while it offers greater accuracy, it also demands careful modeling, proper ground motion selection, and rigorous verification to ensure safety. So when properly applied, it serves as a powerful tool in achieving resilient and life-safe structural design. So that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Renalu. Klaro kayo ang explanation ni Engineer Renalu regarding sa time history analysis. That it is actually mugid dapat unta ang atong gamiton. However, kapos kayo ta sa records sa atong time history records kay actually naaman ta na sila mga machine, mga equipment itaod gani bisan ka nang nasa Seda Hotel there sa Ayala, SMDA. It was required to they were required to install at least 3 ka kaning sana ka equipment, usa sa ground, usa sa middle, o isa dito sa ibabaw. However, Rian?
Accelerogram, sir.
Yes, pero murag wala pa na yata. O pa man sila nataoran diyan, di ba?
Actually, nasa kita, sir, and then gyapon na nag-secure sila sa certificate of installation. Until now, wala pa sila nakasabit, sir.
So nanaila. Ayun ang tana, no? Pero supposed to be, muna akong dili man nga complain, di pod nako. But however, it is the government who is ang makinabang sa kanang pag-install nato sa mga equipment. Ang government makinabang na gagamiton naman na siya sa standardization sa design later on. Di man ta pwede mo gamit lang itong sa mga kanang time history, mga records sa gikan sa COVID Japan. Di man ta pwede mo dagko mga ilang mga kuan. We only use that one as kanang para sa kanang like presentations or sa mga seminars using time history analysis. If it's a staad gamiton lang to siya para to illustrate how it is being done. Pero kung sa actual na gid nga senaryo, kapos pataan no? Mula lugar na ang drawback ana. Pero anyway, even until sa response spectrum analysis, pwede na kayo na. And even ang static lateral force procedure, pwede na gyapon kayo. Provided that mo-comply ang building sa requirement as stipulated in our code. No? Tapos ang magamit ang static lateral force procedure na requirement dito. Kung hindi magkapasar dito rin ka sa dynamic analysis. Yan na, no? Pwede ba pagkata? Basin ang thank you, Engineer Rinalo, no?
Thank you, sir.
And then, pwede ba pagkata kang Engineer Daduli, taas-taas, panihin mo, Engineer or Gamayra? Pwede mang hangyo. Next week, hinay kayo akong signal, sir. Okay, hapit naman sa lang time, no? Atong palingkamutan nga mahuman na nato ning kuan. Mahuman na nato atong topic by next week. Ano man next week ba? Next week is 11. Mantag mahuman na nato ni kay para magka-focus na rin mo sa inyong PIT o sa inyong katong ihatag na ako nga kaning learning log about comparison of static lateral force procedure, manual calculation, and STAAD. So, any question? Si Engineer Plaza. Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Ano ko
Yes.
clarification, sir, sa submission sa atong PIT? Last time, naka-mention mo ka na ang deadline is 1 week before sa schedule na examination sa USTP. So, pa mo na, sir, kung schedule is May 6, 23 man to, so 1 week before May 23. So, pwede na ba na, sir, na May 60 ko mag-submit Sabado? Kay, di mo ko magandang weekdays yun, naurot na ulip.
Pwede naman.
Nara ka nagsabado, sir, no? Mag-submit sa May 16.
Kung wala magaling ko, pwede lang ninyo ibutang sa akong lamisa.
Pwede na, sir.
Picturean nimo, isend din dito sa atong GC kay para ma-confirm nga naagi na-submit.
Yes, sir. Kay maram nga kung
Okay.
makatay next week, sir. Kay Horot Philip.
Lagi. Bakit basin og niya og kanang basin og niya og kaning makit-an og laing tao niya ganahan sa iyong trabaho. Kuhaon niya na impas. And please also submit the compiled PDF file of your book. Kay para sa record na ako, kaya ang mga libro, ako man na-chika, no? Ako man na iuli sa inyo. Ang PDF file, mabalik na mapabili na sa ako, kaya para...
Ang PDF, sir, yun sa mga, sir, ka ng naka-CD or send lang na mo sa imo?
Send lang. Pwede rin i-send sa... Kung i-send niyo sa Messenger, i-PM niyo sa Messenger, kindly inform me ASAP nga na-send ninyo kay usahay man good si Messenger iyang gina-delete pag madaan na.
Copy, sir.
So, kanang inform me kay para ma-download na ko kanang immediately. Unsa pa mga questions? Ang last topic na to will be about the seismic design requirements.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, Sir James, Engineer James.
Kanang next week, sir, boss, since among topic mong gusto pa, sir, connected ra mong good kay sa isa ra ka section sa NSCP, pwede ba nga ang pag-report namo next week, sir, is isumpay-sumpay na lang namo, sir, ba?
Pwede na dyan gyapon. Ito na yung mga topic na seismic design
Okay, sir.
philosophy and capacity design, beam in special momentum system frame, column special momentum system frame, beam connection. Pwede na po, no? Pwede na sadya.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, kung kinsay naka-appeal sa training sa atong sa STAAD, sa RC, atong sa Niagi, tuwa dito ba tanan ba? Tuwa dito ang atong yung report, tuwa dito ba? Nag-appeal ba? Kita nag-appeal na to, mga na-reporter.
Wala,
So, nabilin niya mga... wala mo ka-appeal? Ay. Tuwa dito, na-discuss na mo dito, RC. So, anong ka-appeal then? Kaya explain yun yung mayo. Okay, so, any other questions? Any other questions? Excited ka sa inyong PIT? Labi na sa inyong mga detalye? Okay. Dito man makita ang iyang output. Dapat dapat ka ng presentable kay mga master na ba mo, di ba mo college? Ang college kayo, murag copy-paste lang ng ilaha. Ang inyo dapat trabahoon gid ninyo. Okay, so sa iyo tamahuman, mas mayo. Mag-una o pa open sa akong ipakita ang akong gihinimo nga Excel nga katong sa response spectrum analysis kay naamaday pud kang engineer ko andiay Abdul Gani. Mas nice pa iya pagka-plaster kaysa ako di wala lang gipakita nga ako kay Mas nice pang iya pagka-plaster kaysa ko ang hinimo. Ito akong gihimo magod kay para kanatong especially kung magamit ko response spectrum analysis. Kailangan na ako ang kuan, kailangan na ako ang graph. So ito ginagamit ako. Pag makuha na nimo ang katong coordinates, yun ito copy paste butan nimo dito sa staad, no? Aron dayon siya na bahala. Okay, section A. Section A. Section A sina Engineer Abdulgani, Engineer Bulahan, Engineer Kaina, Engineer Curiba, Engineer Dela, Engineer Doliente, Engineer Flor de Lisa, Engineer Magto, Engineer Orabaw, Engineer Pasilios, Engineer Plaza, Engineer Quirino. Nakapos Engineer Quirino? Nakapas ba?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Wow. Si Engineer Tagupa, Engineer Taylaran, Engineer Tuting. Okay ha, mag-ano ko ha, okay, sige, where are your smiles? 1 to ready. Okay, wait lang ha, kaya ako sang ikaw, kasi mali, mawa, tas passing ani. Ayun. Okay, next kay si Section B. Section B na po. Sila ni Engineer Bandoles, Engineer Bobadilla, Engineer Carbonilla, Engineer Dadoli, Engineer Denlasa, Engineer Espinosa, Engineer Gonzales, Engineer Romano, Engineer La Cuesta, Engineer Lamberte, Engineer Laroga, Engineer Madelo, Engineer Namokatkat, Engineer Suaso, and Engineer Onabia. Perfect attendance sila. Okay. Okay. Huh? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Kinsa wala? You are supposed to be 15. May absent? Engineer Bandoles, Engineer Nay wala, no? Okay. Okay, so wear your smiles. Dili ga detect og kam ayay. Sige na lang. 1, 2. Kaya, raputan nagpa-idea niyo. Okay, thank you for coming, class, and I hope you have learned something today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you,
Okay,
Doc.
good evening.